Zach Wilson is no longer a New York Jet. The draft is 2 days away. It can't get much better than this. My guest is Italy Jet. Let's roll.
Jets, Jets. Let's go.
Jets wide receiver Wesley Walker. Wesley, how you doing today? ESPN writer Mr. Rich Cimini, Jets reporter for The Athletic, Mr. Zach Rosenblatt, Hall of Famer and Jets legend, Mr. Marty Lyons.
Your host, Connor Law.
Here we are, Tuesday afternoon. Obviously the big news came out yesterday afternoon around 3:30, 4 o'clock, reported by Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero of the NFL Network. Zach Wilson was indeed traded to the Denver Broncos. The Jets had to give up pick number 256 in the draft. They did get a sixth round pick, so they gave up Zach and a seventh for a sixth round pick, and then the salary was kind of split in half when it came to who was paying what X amount of money on his contract. But let's bring on my guest. Italy Jet joins the show. Italy, how you doing today?
Man, what a week so far. I mean, it's already it's not Jets news when there's always something going on with our team, man. There's always something, and
Yep.
I'm happy the draft is Thursday. I usually do like a routine. I watch draft day before I ever watch the draft. I love it so much. Bobby, how's it going? I'm doing good. How are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing really good, and get Zach Wilson off this team on a Monday. I mean, just a random Monday. Not so random as the draft week, but they get Zach Wilson off this roster, which is awesome. Get him off, and we saved $2.75 million, which it's not losing money. So, and Tyron Smith was guaranteed, I think, $6.5 million. It was.
Right.
So, maybe
right.
that could maybe be the guaranteed money if the Jets were to sign a guy like Bakhtiari or Donovan Smith, something like that. That type of
Right.
$2.75 million, and get Zach Wilson off the plate. I really really like that. But we're just gonna go. We're gonna go right into draft. And one more thing, you mentioned draft day. Did you see the clip that Adam Schefter posted on Twitter yesterday of the Cardinals GM, I believe it was, and how he negotiated that whole thing when it was trading back
Yeah.
up?
Oh my gosh, I was dying. I'm in a group chat with a bunch of my friends, and one of them's an Arizona fan, and he goes, "What just happened?" And I'm like, "Dude, they're doing something crazy over there, and they're always doing something crazy over there." But it was hilarious. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that clip. But let's go right onto the draft. 2 days, obviously, is April 25th, round one of the NFL draft. Where are you sitting right now in terms of trade up, trade down, stick and pick? Where are you?
I mean, I think the history with Joe Douglas is, he always either stays or he jumps up. Last 2 years have been like, okay, is he going to trade back? He usually trades back in the later rounds, doesn't really in the first round, not really. Either jumps up or stays, or sometimes he'll go right back in like he did with JJ, right? So I think overall, I know like there's always rumors that he's going to jump up and get a wide receiver or stay pat. I think he's still going to stay pat. I don't think I think maybe he might jump down, but I think overall, I'm perfect with just staying at 10 unless he really wants his guy. And when he really wants a guy, because there's been some cryptic stuff with Woody Johnson, right, on Twitter with the wide receiver stuff. So I'm like, all right, are they gonna jump up and get Harrison Jr. or Neighbors or something? So right now I'm like, I'm just gonna stay pat at 10. What about you?
I honestly like the possibility of trading up right now. If you look at this team, Aaron Rodgers, we have a 2-3 year window with a quarterback like this. He's going to be 41 in December. So, obviously I want a weapon that we can plug in. I do think offensive line is a need, but I think that can be addressed in the later rounds of the draft, maybe round 3, pick 72.
Right.
Right now I like the possibility of trading up for Neighbors or Harrison. And if we're going to trade up, those are the two guys I want. If we're going to trade up like that high to like 5, maybe with the Chargers is a spot that I like if the Cardinals don't select Harrison or they trade back. And right now I'd trade up maybe 2 picks for Rome Odunze, because if you look at like the draft value chart,
Love
it would
that.
Yeah, it would be pick 10, and then it would obviously be pick 10, and then probably a fourth or both of our fourths, honestly, at this point. Which
Right.
to trade up 2 picks for a player like that, I'd do that 100% all day, 7 days a week. I really like that idea. So,
Ooh.
I'm team trade up right now, or trade down. I like
Yeah.
trading up more, but I don't want to stay at pick 10. I feel like we're in a weird spot right now. I feel like pick 10 kind of enters the second tier of those players unless, maybe all falls, which I can't see any
Yeah.
world where that happens. Right now I'm either trade up or trade down, because if you trade up, you're going to guarantee that you're going to get an elite weapon like an
Mm.
Odunze, like a Neighbors, like a Harrison. And if you trade
Right.
down, I really like Troy Fautino, the offensive tackle
Right.
guard. He's exactly like AVT the way he plays. Or if we were still going to go wide receiver, I like Brian Thomas Jr. So if,
Same.
if you could trade back a little there, maybe get 2/3 or a second, and get
Yeah.
additional draft capital, I really like that idea.
I like Latham too if we trade down because I've always been either stay or trade down. Not a big fan of trading up, but when you do look at it, this is such a draft where there's a lot of positions that have a lot of depth, and you can go up and get an offensive tackle. You can go out and get a wide receiver by trading up or trading down. If that was my second option, trade down, I'm looking at JC Latham or Brian Thomas Jr.
Yeah, I really like Latham. I don't know if you're familiar with Joe Blewett's work over at Jet X Factor, but
Yes.
he has JC Latham as his offensive tackle one ahead of Joe Alt.
Yeah.
So I found that really interesting, and I think he's very knowledgeable when it comes to breaking down film, analyzing prospects. So I found that really interesting. But we have a caller on the line, so we're gonna go over to him. Bobby Midnight is on the line.
Oh,
Bobby, how you
Hey,
Bobby.
doing?
I know Italy yeah for a while, and I know you, of course, Connor. I
Bobby,
know
what's up? It's
Italy
been a minute.
from Jigga. Whether you don't do Jigga anymore.
No,
Guys
we're
still
coming
go.
back. We're coming back. We're
Oh, they're
coming back
good.
this
Aren't they
week.
good
Yeah.
together? Them and you guys are good together. I remember you.
I
Remember me?
appreciate that. Yeah,
Hey, what
yeah.
about
We
Knoble at pick 10, Connor?
I love
What about
Knoble out of college. Italy, have
yeah?
you
What
seen that?
about Knoble?
I would say Canoba.
What about Knoble? You want Knoble at pick 10?
I love Knoble. I mean, he's a little small, 5'9", 195 pounds, but
Yeah.
he plays both sides of the ball. Why not? A little two-way threat.
I wonder if he knows what we're talking about.
Italy. Oh, you're muted, it looks like.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we're good.
he's
I some music came on. Was that you?
No, I
No?
didn't
Okay,
I didn't
never
get
mind.
that, yeah.
Never mind. Sorry. Oh, my
You
little
know
little
what we're
world over here.
talking about? You know what we're talking about, Elite Jet?
Which part? Which part? Kenobe?
Knoble,
Knoble.
yeah.
Yeah, I like him too, but
You
he's
know
still
who
a little
he
quicker.
is? He's a
So
real guy, or is he a fake guy?
no, fake.
Right, there
Fake.
you go.
There we
Yep,
go,
I
fake.
called it to ESPN. I called it
Fake.
to the fan, and I got the guy confused. Hector screwed it up for us, though.
Yeah.
Hector says, "Oh, keep McPherson." You hear Bobby call him the other night? Oh, that guy's not real. Oh, wait till I get a hold of Hector. Mate. Hi, man. He screwed up the joke until he could have waited till after the draft. Okay, that's what. But
Yeah,
I do
after,
like
yeah.
you guys' choices to draft up or draft down. And you know I'm a big Giant fan too,
Right.
Italy Jet.
Right. You
So,
are.
but I do cheer for the Jets.
Yeah.
And do you think this kid's smart at 12 years old?
Yeah, I mean, what he's doing all over social media and what he's doing for a
I know.
12-year-old, it's unbelievable.
I can't.
It only goes up for there.
Thank
Only
you.
goes up
We
from
only
there.
when I was his age, I only had like the newspaper. He got the computer nowadays. I wish we had computer back then, but we never did. But this
Oh, for
kid
sure.
knows what he's talking about. I mean, I always like to listen to him.
Your
Thank
I'm
next
you.
guest, Connor, I should have Jude Jets on. He's in high school.
I know,
and
yeah, Jude. I remember you guys had a show running for a
We
long
did.
time.
And
We
guess who
did. You and
Jake's gonna
Jude would
have
be good
on?
together too.
Guess
Yeah,
who Jake's gonna have on the show on tomorrow? Thursday.
who?
Johnny Ice Cream.
Ooh, Johnny.
I
I know.
How old is he? He's younger than you, right?
Yeah, he's 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, he's 6. This kid has his own ice cream truck. He meets all the Jet players. Well, we didn't meet the Jet players, me and my brother. Did we tell you the story, Italian Italy jet?
No, what happened?
About the elevator, me and my brother.
No, I don't.
All right.
I
One
forgot.
time I worked for Marriott and we got to stay at the hotel. So in Providence, Rhode Island, the Jets were playing the Patriots in '86. We got to stay at the hotel.
Mhm.
Jets was staying there at the hotel too. We're on the elevator with Marty Lyons, Mark Estino, and Joe Klecker. So
Oh,
do you
nice.
remember when Mark Estino was married to the lady that looked like a man with the blonde hair lady? I can't remember her name.
Which person again?
She would look like a man with the blondish hair, like a weird looking haircut. Remember
Yeah,
she was yeah. So
I forgot right now.
my brother asks him. They were going through a divorce. My brother says, "Oh, how's your wife doing?" Oh, I thought Mark Estino was going to kill the kid. I mean, you don't ask the guy that.
What did
Right.
Gastineau say?
Yeah, what'd he say?
Oh, his face was just angry. Then Joe Klecko and Marty Lyons were cracking him crazy. They were laughing. They couldn't stop laughing. I told Michael that was the stupidest question I ever heard. I thought it was going to kill the kid in the elevator itself. Yes.
Bobby,
Oh my
appreciate the
gosh.
call.
Yeah. No,
Season-
I appreciate you having me
Hey,
on.
good to see you, buddy.
I'm nice seeing you, Italy. I'll talk to you and
For
Jiggy
sure.
soon too.
Yeah,
Bye
later
now.
this week. Later this week. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
Hey,
Bobby.
Bobby.
Yeah,
Love it.
I didn't
love
know Jets Evening Brew was coming back. I'm looking forward to that return.
it. Yeah, hopefully this week and maybe next week, but yeah, we're talking about it. We got a couple surprises coming on. Can't share
Nice.
too much right now, but yeah, it's definitely come back in the works. I took like 3 months, took like 3 months off. I did like a couple shows here and there, but yeah, we'll coming on stronger than ever. Can't wait. I know the Jets Take Flight Squad's back with me, DK, and Gunny.
Yep.
And I got some other stuff working with the UK and Germany shows coming back. It's gonna be great. Can't wait.
Yeah, obviously the Jets Evening Brew was going on for a solid amount of time, and then the Nightcap recently emerged, and now the Flight Squad, I believe it's called, on DKB's channel. Everyone check that out. DKBX Jets on YouTube. It's been 3 seasons. This is the 3rd season, a weekly show with Italy, Gunny, and DKB. So really, really, really solid show. Definitely recommend checking that out. But in terms of just draft and where we are right now, obviously second wave of free agency, basically all things were really dead until the Jets went out and made that Zach Wilson move. Where do you stand right now? Would you like to add a Donovan Smith, a Bakhtiari to make up for those games that a guy like Tyron Smith will miss?
I think those two are great options. I know Pete's still out there.
Yeah.
I think that would be good too. But it just seems like the Bakhtiari thing, he just needs to get more healthy. And I really do think he's going to be here. I just cannot see him on any other team besides the Jets right now. I mean, if he's healthy, he's a top 12 in my opinion at his position, maybe top 10. And then I'm looking. I mean, Donovan Smith. Isn't Donovan Smith? Wasn't he a Jersey, New York guy anyway?
Yeah, he's from Hempstead, Long Island.
See,
Grew
there
up
you
a
go.
Jet fan.
There you go. I mean, it's like a match made in heaven if we brought him in, but it's got to be the right price. Our cap situation is not that great right now. I know there's a lot of moving pieces that we can work with, but overall, I like those two options, and I do like Pete as well.
Yeah, I like all those options, but I don't want to sign them. If it has to come at the cost of restructuring more guys. We've pushed more money down the road. I think a lot of Jet fans are living in the moment right now, as they should, but we still need to think of the future. Obviously we're in a win now team right now, which I like that. I like that, but not to the point where I want to sacrifice all of our future. Because if you look at the cap situation, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers, once he retires, that cap hit is not going to be pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Jermaine, Brees, and Garrett are all going to need to be paid the same year. So that's also another problem.
And JJ.
Yes.
As well.
And, Sauce is already a top corner in this league, and you look, and he's probably going to command around $25 million a year. And, I want to do anything in my power to get all four of those guys back, as I think they're the future of this team. So, I would love to add a Donovan Smith and a Bakhtiari, but not at the cost of restructuring these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall we're gonna keep maybe one or two. We can't keep all four of them, five of them. It's gonna come down to what's the most important position we need to keep in the process. I am looking at Sauce Gardner. I think JJ and Brees are gonna be gone. Unfortunately, I think that might happen. We gotta look at that realistically. And then GW, that's just gonna be a hit or miss. Whatever happens this year alone. Whatever happens this year. So there's going to be a lot of moving pieces, a lot of cap hits up and down. But what JD has done over the past couple of years, even this year alone, he's proven that he can do all that stuff. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, if this team could stay healthy, this team is going to be a really, really special team for 2024. Just look, and you pair Aaron Rodgers, and then you have Williams and Garrett, plus maybe you add an Odunze, or even someone I like in the later rounds, day 2, day 3, is Ricky Pearsall out of Florida. You put him and Garrett in the slot, Williams on the outside, paired with another guy that they might sign later in free agency or draft on the later days, or even like a Brownlee or Gibson, plus Breece Hall in the backfield. I think that offense looks really, really nice for the 2024 season. And then obviously you have the top 3, top 5 defense paired with another top special teams unit. And it did hurt to lose Hardy, but I'm happy we retained guys like an Ashton Davis who can had to help to replace him on the special teams unit. We do have Yeboah
too, yeah.
Brandon Eccles is obviously back this year. He's solid on special teams. And, just going back to the NFL draft, you mentioned Yeboah there. The Jets obviously re-signed Yeboah. They have Zach Kuntz. They have Tyler Conklin. Where do you stand on this whole Bauer boy debate?
Oh my God. It's like the fan base just splits on that. It's like everything with Zach Wilson. Everyone's split with that too, right? I think for me, he's my last resort. He's my last option. If I don't get that offensive lineman that I want, if I don't trade down or trade up to get the wide receiver that I want, Bowers is my last option. I'm always looking for an offensive line or Roman Odunze or someone like Neighbors. I'm always looking for something like that. I'm not looking for Bowers because I think the tight end room with Conklin and Rucker needs to get more of those reps.
Oh, Rucker, yeah.
I just think right now Bowers could be very special in the NFL. I don't know if it's going to be transformed to our offense if we get him. I just don't. It's just kind of like an uncertainty with these guys, especially tight end position when it's not really a number one priority right now. So right now, I'm just like, no, unless it's a last resort.
Yeah, the only scenario, honestly, at this point, the only scenario where I'd take a guy like Bowers, where we're sitting right now, is if we traded back to 15 or 13 with the Broncos, if they wanted to come up, and you have Fontenot's gone, Fashanu's gone, Latham's gone, and Bowers is the best available player. That's probably would be one of the only scenarios where I'd take him, that kind of last resort type, what you said. I honestly, I wouldn't take him at 10, and I sure would not trade up for him, because I think if the Jets really, really liked him, he'll be there at 10. And, I just can't see the Jets moving up for a player like Bowers. If they're going to move up, it's going to be like a guy like Harrison or Neighbors or someone of that kind of ilk. But right now, where do you sit? Because we're mentioning Bowers, O-line, stuff like that. O-line, what are your thoughts on Talise Fuaga at pick 10?
Oh my gosh! If we trade down, I would get Fuaga. If we get him, and just like Latham, I would get those guys. But I'm still looking at Fashanu. I'm still looking at Fatanu. I still like those guys at 10. And like I said, if Alt goes to 10, which I really can't see happening, I would like that as well. I am looking at Latham and Fuaga down, but I do like Fashanu and Alt at 10. But it's unrealistic with Alt. But I would like that more. Fuaga I like a lot, but I like Latham as well. I like them both because I'm a big Alabama guy with Latham. So Fuaga's good, but if Sean is there, I would much rather have that. Fuaga would be my second option along with Latham as my third option.
Yeah, alt. I look at the top 10. You have the Titans at pick 7.
Mhm.
I look at alt as just a lock there, and I
Right.
could see the possibility of a guy like an Odunze falling to the Jets
Oh my god, that'd
because
be awesome.
that
Take
would
him.
be if he's there at 10, you have to take him. I mean, because you look at the 7, 8, 9, 10. 7, I see Joe Alt going to the Titans. 8,
Agreed.
yeah, 8, I think the Falcons have a chance to maybe go after a pass rusher, maybe like a Jared Verse or someone like that. And then, you just gotta hope the Bears don't take Odunze, or maybe I'd trade up one spot with the Bears if it required giving up like 2 fourths or something like that, 1 pick to get Odunze. I'd do that 100%. So you would trade up for Odunze also?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
What do you like most about Odunze? Is it his size? Is his jump? The ability where he can get up and catch jump balls? What do you like most about him?
I like his route run a lot. I like his hands a lot. I think when it came into the national championship game, you really showed a lot. It really showed a lot of his speed, a lot of his versatility. I think he's going to be a special player for years to come, whether it's going to be with the Jets or with someone else. I think overall he's a top 5 talent in my opinion in this draft, with the potential to be top 10 in this league as a wide receiver position. I think he made Penix look really good at times. I think those two, the way they worked with Washington, it was really nice. I think Odunze, in my personal opinion, can do wonders with Rodgers if we get him.
Yeah, his route running's awesome. The one thing I don't like about Brian Thomas Jr. is you look at him and he runs slants, goes, and curls. Those are the 3 main routes that he can run. And if a team's okay with that, great, go after him. But I'd much rather a guy like Odunze with the Jets than a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. Now, Italy, one more thing before we let you go. I've asked this to almost every guest I've had on last
Yeah.
2 weeks of until leading up to the draft. Sneaky position room that you like in day 2, day 3 of the draft, 4 rounds 4 through 7, something like that. Position room that you like, and if so, any players.
I'm still looking. I'm still looking at O-line, even wide receiver, safety position. I know people have been wanting Simmons, right? I know that's like what that would be
Yeah.
awesome, but I think we can get a draft pick out of that. I love Tyke Smith. I love Witherspoon as well. I think overall, I'm still looking at the guard position. I like Cohen a lot, and even if it continues to fall, even a wide receiver position as well, I think we still need to build on the O line in the guard position. So I'm looking at Cohen. I'm looking at a few others. I like Tyke Smith a lot. I'm a couple linebackers in there because I think we can still get some free agents in here. But this is like me and you have talked about before. Kind of, this is a deep class for specific positions. I think those positions will be nice.
Italy, I appreciate you joining us. You got any final thoughts?
No, keep following Connor along's journey. He's doing great.
Thank you.
Follow me, Italy Jet. I'm always everywhere with Jets content. And yeah, man, Connor, you the best. Appreciate you.
Appreciate everyone. Thank you guys for watching. As always, JTS, Jets, Jets, Jets.